John McPhee, and you're watching Community Focus, presented by the Friends of MCTV. In this third segment, our guest is Delois Leapart, the President and CEO of Adoption Option Incorporated. Welcome to Community Focus.
Thank you.
Delois, Adoption Option had an initial mission of ending foster care by helping children get adopted. So what's the expanded scope of your mission today?
Well, we've always been grateful to every foster parent that ever helped a child. But we know that children want to go back home. So as an agency, we were there in case they couldn't go back home to help with the adoption. And that's why our name was Adoption Option Inc. We soon discovered that we could help them even more if we were willing to do foster licensing. And so we expanded our services at the request of the Department of Human Services, was their name at the time. And then we broadened our services to provide foster care services, so that if we licensed you, we would take care of those children in your home under the foster care system. And we were doing that primarily for families that were interested in adopting. In 2012, we expanded even further and started doing family preservation, which includes not only services like in-home parenting classes, but it also includes group parenting classes. And those expansions resulted in us going further and developing a mentoring program for middle school youth, and that's called Learn, Evaluate, Achieve, and Play. So those are some of the programs we have at our agency. And then we have a new program.
And that newest program is?
It's called YIT, Youth in Transition. These are 14 to 21-year-old youth. Now, you can stay in foster care until your 18th birthday, and at your 18th birthday, they present you with an opportunity. The opportunity is to be a part of their young adult voluntary foster care program, and that will happen if you sign an agreement saying that you will meet the requirements of that contract, which include going to class if you're in school or working. And so those young people are typically after 18, not in a foster home. But if you can remember, when we were 18, one of the blessings we had was parents to give us some guidance. Well, if they're over 18 and they have aged out of the system, they may not have someone like that in their life. So our program, YIT, Youth in Transition, is a collaboration with the Department of Health and Human Services, where we provide mentoring services to 14-year-olds who are in the process of aging out, to 18-year-olds, as well as 18 to 21-year-olds who have signed that agreement that said they want to stay in the system, or students who aged out of the foster care system and didn't sign the agreement. We can still provide them with mentoring services. And the kinds of things that your parents would tell you if you were trying to make decisions as an 18-year-old or a 19-year-old or a 20-year-old.
So you're looking for mentors. I presume that's one of the things we want to talk about.
That is exactly right. We're looking for people who are willing to be a positive influence in the life of a youth. You know, one of the Cadillac models of mentoring is the Big Brothers Big Sisters program, which does a phenomenal job nationwide of focusing on mentoring primarily for youth 12 and under. And we are now looking at, in our YIT program, we're looking at mentoring for youth 14 to 21. So if you think early high school is your calling, if you think you could add something positive to a youth in high school, please give us a call. If you think you could give a young person who's 18 some guidance on their way, who's making life choices without typically the involvement of a parent, please give us a call. If you think someone who's about to turn 21 is someone that you could give the benefit of your experience, give us a call. We'd love to interview you and invite you to come to orientation and training for our mentoring program.
So what are some of the requirements to become a mentor?
The first requirement is that we do a background check. So that's a background check that checks criminal record, checks have you ever had any abuse, neglect charges involving the Department of Health and Human Services. It also requires that once the background check is completed, we put you through 16 hours of training. We don't want you to just walk in and meet a youth and try to figure it out. We want to make sure you develop some listening skills, because mentoring is about listening. What is going on in this youth's life right now? And what can you do? What insight do you have that perhaps may help that youth make better decisions? So the second requirement is the 16 hours of training. And then we do quarterly updates. So you have to be willing to come back for training. In addition to that, we then look at what are your needs, what are your interests, and then what are the youth's needs, and then we try to pair them so that they match. But then there's a feedback loop. You get back to us and tell us how it's going, so that if things are going well, we want to keep that up. If things aren't going well, we need to make some tweaks to see how this relationship goes. And last but not least, we ask you to make a 12-month commitment, because a relationship doesn't start in a day. And so we're hoping that you build that relationship over time, and at the end of 12 months, we hope it's pretty strong.
So like big brothers, big sisters, a mentor needs to be of a certain age and be, I'm thinking 21.
Over 21.
And able to drive.
Yes.
And then the program encourages the mentors to develop goals with the
Absolutely.
people.
The youth must work with the mentor on goals, and they meet together up to 4 hours, at least 4 hours a month is the requirement that we're requesting. And so just like our parents helped us with goal setting and following through on goals and modifying goals if necessary, that's exactly what we're hoping the mentor will do. And not just goal setting, we want them to have some fun together too, because there's a lot of growth and development that can come out of conversations that happen when you're at an amusement park or playing putt-putt golf or at a swimming pool. There are all kinds of incidental conversations that give a mentor an opportunity to educate, to say something that will help the youth on their journey make good decisions. And that's what we're hoping for.
So how's the program working to date? It's a new program. How's it going?
It's a brand new program. It's going extremely well. We've had mentors go through training. We're still in the process of recruiting. There's a space for one more youth left. So if you're interested in mentoring, please give us a call. And they can reach us at 839-0534. That's area code 989-839-0534.
And you also have a website and an email address?
That's correct. They can email me directly. It's D as in DeLois, L-E-A-P as in Paul, H-E-A-R-T @AOI.org. They're welcome to email me, call me, or if I'm not there, they could call the agency and ask for Melody. She works with our mentoring program, and she'd be delighted to give you more information. And there's more information on our website under the Other Programs tab.
Okay, well, thank you, DeLois, for appearing on Community Focus to make us aware of the need for mentors. In our final segment today, we'll learn about the local installation of the moving wall.